4 years ago, when I began my creative journey from scratch at 30 years old, I only had my passion for art and a suitcase full of dreams. I only had few drawing and design skills, but absolutely no idea about how the creative software worked, no strategy, no process, no idea about how to make a website and a shop, about marketing, sales, customer experience, legal stuff, or how a small business works. But I had a goal to learn everything about it as fast as possible. I felt clueless, alone, overwhelmed, inappropriate, scared, excited and hopeful at the same time, just like you do right now. But I said to myself, I'm gonna follow my passion and I'm gonna do it all by myself. Working with my first customers was purely experimental. Even though I had the passion and the aim to create for them strategic designs and illustrations with the skills and knowledge I had then, I was lacking having a professional work process and offering them a satisfactory customer experience. I was clueless and I had to fail because I had no idea about the onboarding process or about using a custom contract, questionnaires, a services guide, and presentations as project proposals, strategy and creative direction, sketches and design illustration, mock-ups, or brand style guidelines. I was literally sending them pictures with multiple sketches and designs attached in an email or a message. No wonder I had countless useless revisions to do. Also, I was constantly worried because I had few leads to turn into prospects and ultimately into clients. I was struggling and feeling I'm completely failing my goals. But as you, I had the aim to learn and become a true professional, but I didn't know where to start. Hello guys, my name is Loredana and I create strategic and playful illustration, brand identity and packaging design services for ambitious small businesses who want to achieve their own definition of success. By trials, errors, research and many failures, I managed to set in place over the years a strategy and a process that would help me reach my goals and dreams. An effective process which I constantly improve for optimal results and which I'm going to share in depth with you so that you manage to reach your business objectives faster than I did. Let's jump straight into the first step of working with the client like a pro, the onboarding process. Onboarding is the process of transforming your client from a potential lead to an invested client that's ready to work with you. It includes all the steps taken to book a client, starting with sending your services guide to your potential lead, using inquiry forms, discovery calls, and questionnaires to efficiently communicate the scope of work, sending project proposals, and ending with signing the contract and receiving the payment for the first installment of the project. Let's start with understanding why it's so important to have and use a services guide to promote your services to your target customers and book them. A services guide is a must-have PDF presentation that will help you to make a great first impression on potential clients, provide an amazing client experience from the start, position yourself as a professional and a premium service provider, highlight how your services can benefit and create value for your potential clients, showcase your services using mock-ups to present your previous projects, identify who might be a right fit for you. When designed to look professional on brand and done effectively, your services guide should be able to help you to attract your target customers and repel the bargain hunters, because you don't want to work with them, trust me. Also, you can use your services guide to promote your services to your leads and prospects by sending it on email. Let me show you what should include in your own services guide. Show your support by giving a like and pressing subscribe to my channel for more illustration, graphic design, and business pro tips for creatives and small business owners. Start your presentation with confidence and present your personal brand loud and clear. Use your brand voice and brand personality to communicate efficiently who you are, what you do, for whom you do it, why do you do what you do, and how you do it, underlying the benefits the client can get working with you. Don't forget to integrate your brand portrait photo. After all, as a freelancer, you are a personal brand offering services and products for people. As a creative, you may offer one or more services depending on your skills, but you'll always have a main service or a core service. For example, my core service is brand identity design. In this section, give information about your core service and how it benefits your target customer. You'd be amazed how few people know something about the creative services, about what implies working with a creative, or the real value we can create for them. It's your duty to inform and educate your potential clients. If you offer more services that go hand in hand, thus creating even higher value for your clients, now is the moment to present them in the most attractive way. In my opinion, it is a huge plus to have complementary services related to your core service, because the more value you create, the higher your revenue will be. As a guest, you need to underline how each service you offer benefits your target customer. For example, I offer 4 services: brand identity design, packaging design, digital illustration, photo manipulation and photo compositing, for print, social media, and web graphics. Thus, I create brand identity and brand touchpoint design services, creating a higher value for a client than if I have created only logo design service, for example. Starting with the onboarding and ending with the offboarding stage, the manner you structure and communicate your work process is one of the elements that really makes or breaks a services guide. In this phase, you should name all your work stages, keeping the descriptions short and sweet, but informative and clear for your prospect client. Talk briefly about each stage of the project, making sure you communicate efficiently about your round of revisions, client tasks, and deliverables you're offering. Don't forget that the PDF presentation is a deliverable also. Testimonials are pure gold because they help you share your brand story and establish credibility and trust in your personal brand. You're using real people, your happy previous customers, to show success in your services and products. So include all the relevant testimonials and feedback received to stand for the quality of your services, thus helping you to build your brand's reputation. I have 5, you have more or less, depending how many services you're offering. Try to make strategical and useful combination of services for your clients and create a couple of service packages that can really benefit them. For example, you may think about having a basic package as a starting point, a package for print, another one for social media, and you get the idea. Also, you should take in consideration having an Ultimate Pro package that gathers all the other ones, creating maximal value for your target customer. This way, your potential client will have a wider picture on his business needs and if your services can benefit his business. Dedicate the page to each package and give details about the deliverables included, how each package benefits the client's business objectives, the process, and the estimated timeline. Some creatives include also their prices in the services guide, but I do not, and I advise you to name your price, aka the investment, in a custom project proposal tailored for a custom scope of work. In this stage, you have any or few information about the business, what deliverables the project will include, or the exact timeline to name an investment, but we'll talk more about it in a future episode. Let's take your dearest testimonial received from a previous client a notch further and showcase the value of the services you offered for his business. Showcase your services in action using mock-up photos depicting the deliverables you created for the business. Highlight how did your services manage to offer him solutions for his business. Transparency is key for a good customer experience, so it's your duty to inform your potential clients about how you work and the important points in your contract. Think about including information about the payment. Do you offer plans, the deadlines for the invoices, the rounds of revision, how many concepts, how many revisions, cancellation fees, you need them, intellectual property and copyright, the communication method. Keep it short, informative, and easy to digest. Your prospect fell in love with your services guide and wants to inquire you. Fantastic, but what's the next step in his journey to become your customer? No matter if I send my services guide on email or if it is downloaded on my website, in this last section of my guide, I invite all the prospect clients to contact me via my inquiry form on my website using an interactive hyperlink. Having interactive URL and email hyperlinks integrated into your services guide and presentations in general increases the usability and the customer experience for your prospect client. When used strategically, hyperlinks can help your prospect to navigate smoothly through the process. A contact form or inquiry form is the first step to discover necessary information on a potential client that showed real interest in your services. I can't stress enough how important it is having an in-depth inquiry form on your website. In my inquiry form, I gathered 20 questions that help me have a pretty good understanding about the project. And most important, it makes me understand if a potential client is really invested about the project, if he is a match for my style and personality, services and investment. If a client will not take his time to fill in the inquiry form on your website, how would he make time to respect the deadlines and his tasks and give you effective feedback for the project? Make sure to include questions that help you discover information about the business, project scope, objectives and deliverables, target customer, estimated deadline, and budget. I will leave you the link to my contact form in description so you'll be able to discover all the questions I ask my prospects and be able to adapt them and formulate your own ones based on your needs. After receiving detailed answers to all the questions included in the inquiry form, I jump into the second phase of the business discovery as part of the onboarding process. Some creatives use discovery calls, others use discovery questionnaires or emails. In my opinion, there's no perfect way to do this. The most important is to choose a method that helps you to communicate effectively and ask all the strategic questions necessary for you to understand the true dimension of a potential project. The advantages in using short discovery calls are: you can confirm that your potential client and his intentions are authentic, you can detect easier the red flags, and you can easier connect emotionally with your potential customer. However, when working with clients who are on the other side of the world, communication by email is the only option. So learn to level up your written communication skills as they will advantage you all the way. In plus, spoken words might be easily be forgotten, but written documents and emails are conclusive. Choose what discovery method makes you feel comfortable and professional in the stage of your freelance path. But make sure to ask questions that will help you to determine the business objectives, the number, the complexity of the deliverables, the costs implied, and the factor of decision for you to deliver the project proposal. Don't underestimate the project and the value your services is creating for a business. Because I want to help you to jump straight into promoting your creative services and booking clients, I designed for you this cool Services Guide interactive presentation template. My interactive 16 pages template will help you to save time and energy, your most valuable resources as a freelance creative, and present your services, skills, and know-how to your target customer like a pro. Modern, interactive, and easily editable, you can adjust this presentation template to fit all your specific needs as a creative business owner. I'll guide you step by step with prompts, descriptions, and tips on how to use, personalize, and export effectively this interactive template, even if this might be the first time when you strategize your services or when you open Adobe InDesign. Besides an interactive Services Guide presentation template 14 pages InDesign file, you receive bonus, an interactive Discovery Brand Identity questionnaire template 1 page InDesign file, the fonts used, and an in-depth PDF on how to use and export my interactive templates. The interactive Discovery Questionnaire template includes crucial questions with interactive text fields aimed to help you better understand a potential client's scope of work before sending him a project proposal. This short discovery questionnaire was designed to follow up the mandatory questions included in my contact form and can be easily adjusted to fit your specific needs as a creative business owner. I'll leave in the description the link for this essential interactive presentation and discovery questionnaire templates for freelance creatives. Use this modern template pack to level up your personal brand, your process, and your income. Thank you for watching the first part of the customer onboarding journey. We'll continue this juicy topic in the next video. I hope this series will motivate you to improve your strategic process, your customer experience and customer services so that you'll evolve and thrive as a creative small business owner, no matter your background. Show your support by giving a like and press the subscribe to my channel for more illustration, graphic design, and business pro tips for creatives and small business owners. Take your brand design, illustration, and packaging design games to the next level by watching these videos.